Welcome to Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health. I'm Bob McElligott alongside of Jody Shelley. This is CBJ Today. It's our daily look at the Blue Jackets as they go through the first round of the Stanley Cup Playoffs, taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Well, Jody, tomorrow Game 1 is going to take place at the Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh. The Blue Jackets hitting the ice here at the Ohio Health Ice House today, getting prepared for that game tomorrow. Two guys that were noticeably missing yesterday with maintenance days are back, Brandon Dubinsky and Ryan Murray.
Well, this is a big day, too. A little more excitement today. You can feel it in practice, a lot more jump on the ice from the players. And those guys, Dubinsky and Murray, they saw the meetings yesterday. There was a lot of prep going into the Pittsburgh Penguins, what they're about, what their weaknesses are, how good they are. And now today, more chatter, but closer to the game day. I mean, this is exciting times for all these guys. Dubinsky and Murray back. They're excited. Their teammates are excited. It's going to be an interesting matchup here. And the plane leaves today.
Well, Brandon Dubinsky, of course, very important for the Blue Jackets, and his health is of utmost concern because he has 31 playoff games played. And when you're looking at a team that doesn't have very many guys that have NHL postseason experience, he's going to draw pretty big attention.
And that's huge. I mean, let's be honest. Game 1 in Pittsburgh, the first 10 minutes, it's going to be completely insane. The energy in the building, the speed of the team, everything goes up 10 or 12 notches. And that's just the reality of it. And the young guys are going to be blown away. I remember my first playoff experience in San Jose. It blew my socks off. I mean, it's just that the responsibility is heightened, and the players, the young players, need to look to those veterans like Dubinsky and the coach Todd Richards and his staff. Dan Highnote, Stanley Cup champion. These are going to be guys that are going to be relied on heavily, especially the first period of the first game in Pittsburgh.
I heard somebody on the radio in Pittsburgh today say that Brandon Dubinsky has played 31 playoff games. Sidney Crosby has 40 playoff goals. So that's the way they're making the comparisons.
I don't like those comparisons
at
all.
Well, but again, that's the media comparisons,
okay.
Right? The teams always say the right things. The media says something completely different. Also, for the Blue Jackets coming into this series, you mentioned how it's going to be in those first 10 minutes. That's one of those hockey cliches, survive the first 10 minutes on the road. How does that go up in the playoffs?
It's heightened immensely. It's the first round of a series. It's the first game for the Pittsburgh Penguins, who got eliminated last year in not fine fashion. They were disappointed all summer. They had to get through the whole season, which they had a great season. They've been waiting for Game 1. Their fans have been waiting. Fleury's been waiting. Crosby's been waiting. This situation, it's yes, when you go into an opposition's building, you weather the storm in the first 10 minutes. Well, the Blue Jackets are going to see how fast playoff hockey is, a lot of these guys for the first time, how loud it's going to be in Pittsburgh, and that whole emotion. So they have to harness it, get through it, and then once you get your feet in there for a couple of shifts and you feel like, okay, I got this, then you go from there. But definitely a focus has got to be prepare yourself for the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yesterday's practice for the Blue Jackets, head coach Todd Richards was doing a lot of systems work. I talked with Matt Calvert after practice yesterday, and I said, hey, what was going on out there? Was that really detailed? And he said, well, quite honestly, when's the last time we had a practice where we could work on our systems? It was probably back at the Olympic break, because ever since then, it's been a game almost every other day, or sometimes back-to-backs 2 times in a week going down to the last part of the season. So that was a good practice for them yesterday, a little refresher course. Today, what's going on behind us, very up speed. The tempo is very good today.
Yeah, and that's a very good detail you picked up on. I mean, that practice yesterday, as an observer, it looked like there was a lot of standing around, a lot of talking. But it really plays to what Matt Calvert said. They need that day. And that's why today is so much more exciting. They want to get in there. They want to roll their sleeves up. They want to get to work. And today is a work day. And you can see the tempo is picked up quite a few notches from yesterday. They're excited, and that carries over into these practices.
Well, yesterday we talked about the Pittsburgh Penguins. I said Evgeny Malkin hasn't been cleared to play, but would be just shocked if he wasn't there for Game 1. Guess what? This morning he's practicing with the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Really?
Again. Yeah. Can you believe that? They haven't said if he's going to play in Game 1 or not, but everybody knows what goes unsaid, right? Joe Vitale also returned to practice for the Penguins. And that's an interesting one for me because, first of all, you might say to yourself, well, who's Joe Vitale? Well, Joe Vitale is a guy like a Corey Tropp or a Derek McKenzie on this team, who's a guy that has a role and has played it all year long, but's been out of the lineup and is hoping to get back for this series.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He's been around the Penguins for a little while now, and he brings a certain level of just comfort for his other teammates. And that's an important role. Malkin, he's the setup guy for Neal right now, but he's more dangerous than that. He brings a lot to that offense in the neutral zone on transition. He's so dangerous when he has the puck on the north side of the center red line. He's just a weapon. Everybody in the league knows that. So that's 2 big guys skating. And you talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins. We spoke with Todd Richards yesterday, or he had his press conference, and he alluded to the fact that we might see Umberger and Foligno, 2 veteran presences here for the Blue Jackets, maybe back in this series at some point.
All right, just before we wrap this up, if you were a player on the ice down there right now, what happens when they come off the ice, once they take off those skates, and once they start to make that drive to the plane?
Well, yeah, that's the interesting part. Today they'll get off the ice, they'll eat, they'll have a little lunch. There might be a brief meeting, but I doubt it. Could possibly happen. Then they get on the plane and they prepare to drive to the airport, get on the plane and fly to Pittsburgh for that short flight. And from the point after practice until then, the next time they're going to be on the ice is in the Consol Energy Center in downtown Pittsburgh to get ready for tomorrow night, their first game against the Pittsburgh Penguins, Game 7, or a 7-game series, sorry. It starts tomorrow. They're fired up. The excitement level from today after practice until tomorrow morning pregame skate will rise tenfold. And then from that, after that pregame skate till warm up and then drop the puck, I'm just telling you, man, it'll be hard to sleep for these guys tomorrow afternoon. They'll be excited.
Looks like they're going to have a little get-together tonight, too, maybe kind of the last supper, if you will, before the playoffs begin. What's that like when you're getting together with your teammates one more time? Because it's not for fun, it's for focus.
It is for focus. There'll be no games on because there's no games being played. But later in the week, when games are going on around the league, they'll sit at dinner, they'll watch other games, they'll talk hockey, they'll think about the Pittsburgh Penguins. They'll be served dinner in Pittsburgh, and they'll just be getting geared up. There'll be coaches, management in the dinner atmosphere. It's a very professional dinner, but it's that meal that prepares you to, hey, go back to your hotel, get rested, and get fired up.
What are we going to do? Are you going to get me prepared?
I got something planned for you, Bob.
Because I've never been in the playoffs in the NHL.
Oh, you
before.
haven't?
No, I haven't.
Well, we'll go for an NHL meal.
All right. Well, that'll do it for CBJ Today. Jody and I will be with you again tomorrow from the Consol Energy Center in Pittsburgh for Game 1, Blue Jackets and the Penguins. Thanks for watching Jackets TV, presented by Ohio Health.